This episode is brought to you by 1923 on Paramount Plus. In Taylor Sheridan's new original series 1923, the Duttons confront challenges, including the end of the First World War, America's industrialization, and the start of the Great Depression. Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford star in the new original series 1923, streaming December 18th exclusively on Paramount Plus. Head to ParamountPlus.com to try it free.
This episode is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado. According to J.D. Power, Chevy trucks won more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand. But champions don't stop. They keep moving forward. And that's what the Chevy Silverado is all about. It delivers next-level off-road capability with a refreshed interior, advanced technology, plus a larger, more functional bed than any competitor for the ultimate tailgate flex. To learn more, visit Chevy.com. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/award.
Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Hey. So I saw this headline, and of course, you know, it's a BuzzFeed headline.
Oh.
So
okay.
Say no more.
Clickbait,
Yeah.
right? You know, like anything to get you to click on it. And the headline was, the internet is warning people not to brush their teeth after oral sex.
Come on.
Okay.
What?
So
I'm clicking on that for sure.
I did. And I read the article, and
so we don't have to appreciate it.
Basically came from this TikTok from this place called Juna Health. And they made this video basically saying that you want to avoid brushing or flossing your teeth 2 hours before or 2 hours after oral sex because it can cause cuts
bleeding
and abrasions that would allow STIs or STDs
right.
to get in easier.
Okay.
So, which actually, I mean,
Okay.
makes
Makes
sense,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
So
can I gargle with a little mouthy washy?
I feel like yes.
Right? Doesn't that feel like
that's
a
usually
good
what I do?
mouthwash?
Is I'll literally like swish around with water. And
they say water is okay.
Okay.
But then talking to the experts, they were basically like, it's not that you can't like brush your teeth, because they talked to like
Sure.
3 different reproductive health experts, like STD experts, and they basically said like, it's not that you can't brush your teeth or floss, but like like every time you brush or floss, you should be gentle with it. Like, don't go in all ham.
Right.
But they were like, actually, brushing and flossing regularly, like not before or after oral sex necessarily, but just like in life regularly, is really good because it strengthens your gums and prevents things.
Right.
But then, you know, also obviously, if somebody that you're having sex with has an STI, it's a risk, no matter whether you've brushed your teeth afterwards or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, the way that when you were talking about that, the only thing that I could think of was, do you remember that cartoon Magic School Bus?
Oh my
I
God.
loved the Magic School Bus. And when they go into his body, the redhead, what's his name?
So
I
I was thinking of like a little sperm being
just
like
wiggling, like a little magic
sperm bus.
Yeah. I really want somebody to draw us a sperm that looks like the Magic School Bus.
Oh, 100.
You know.
Mrs. What was her name? Mrs. Frazzle?
Mrs. Frizzle.
Frizzle, yeah.
Frizzle. And she had that pet iguana or chameleon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that show.
Oh my
I
God.
went to a math and science school. So the way they would play that, I'm sure when the teacher was hungover, you know what I mean? When they rolled in the
Now
TV.
that you know, now that you know, you know.
Yeah.
You're like,
a Monday, they like turned up like a
I
little
know too many
hard.
teachers who turn the fuck
Of
up.
course they do. They don't
Turned
get paid enough. They have to deal with kids all
I'm
day.
old enough to remember film strips.
Honey. Okay.
And the amount of times I
don't
watched
know what you're
fucking
talking about.
I don't either.
You don't know film
What are
strips?
you talking about? Like
in school?
Like a reel-to-reel type thing?
Yeah, film strips.
No,
Oh, we
why
did not
were
have
you
that.
doing this at your school? Did you go to?
I
a
guess
school
I went
in,
to poor school.
You went to school in 1935, or
I mean, I swear to God, you guys have
What?
to write in. Film strips are not that old.
I had
Shit
a
was
teacher.
happening in the 90s.
I had a teacher who had a projector who with like the paper things that
We
you would
had
write
that.
on.
That was
yeah,
so
we
fun.
had that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
no, I'm talking about legit ass film strips.
No, we
Did
had
it make
video
that
VHS.
Yes,
sound?
it did.
What?
And I remember specifically in 5th grade, Mrs. We'll bleep her name out. Mrs. Put on a film strip. She was having a rough day. She was one of
God.
those teachers that would wear like the really long skirts that always had like chalk and stuff on them. And we were acting up so bad. And I feel like I've told this story before. We were acting up so bad in class that she got really frustrated and dropped a stack of books on the floor and called us all rabbit penises.
Oh, you
Ooh,
did.
I do
you
remember
did
this
tell
now.
us that,
Yeah.
Which is
Rabbit
think
penises.
you pushed her to the edge.
The
the
edge.
place that you pulled rabbit penis out of.
your brain wasn't functioning.
I will
No.
always remember that.
You
because
guys are a
that
bunch of
is-
fucking rabbit penises.
yeah, literally.
I don't know that my brain could come
And
up
everybody shut up.
I
Yep.
bet they
Oh,
fucking
yes.
did.
Really weird
because
thing
it's
to say.
kabonkers.
I mean, also, how sweaty do you think she was?
Oh.
Like fearing that they were going to tell somebody. Like,
Oh, after that? Oh, she's like, I'm getting fired.
I'm getting fired.
I'm getting fired. I said,
I have no idea what
rabbit
happened.
penises.
Imagine how small would you feel like? How much would you feel like you are like in 3rd grade again if you get called into your boss's office, aka the principal, and he's like, "Have a seat, Julie. Did you call a bunch of 3rd graders?
Miss, can I have you come in here, please?
Can you please take a seat and
I
shut the door behind you?"
kind of feel like principals would understand.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
This is, yeah.
But
Dude,
rabbit penises
I can't
The
think
way-
of a job
the
that I
way-
would be less suited
equipped for.
Yeah.
Me neither.
than to teach these damn kids.
Fuck them kids. Fuck them up.
100.
Fuck 'em
And not
up.
only fuck them kids, fuck them parents.
Oh,
The
fuck
parents
them
are the worst.
parents lately.
The parents are the worst.
Oh, having opinions. Oh,
Whoa.
no,
yeah,
thank you.
I was
Do not get paid enough either.
No.
Living poverty wages, having kids
No.
screaming at you, parents
No.
screaming
You
at you.
do not. What we do to teachers in this country is egregious.
Criminal.
Honestly.
It is fucking criminal. And that's how you know. You know that those motherfuckers, that they're doing it because they want to do it. Because I'm like, they don't get paid very much and they're dealing with actual nonsense.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
There are countries like daycare system, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's vastly underfunded, underpaid,
they
and
make less
underappreciated.
than most babysitters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I made more as a babysitter whenever I was a teenager than teachers do an hour. I really do.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I don't love
So,
that.
anyway.
No.
I don't. I don't love
I
that.
love Magic School Bus just to take it back.
Oh, yeah.
Just to take it
Oh, it's
back.
They can take it back to a good place.
Every time I swallow, I think about Magic School Bus.
Really?
I think about little
Getting-
sperm
What if there's
like
a-
traveling through
What
my
if
body
What if
and
that?
stuff.
What if there's a school bus in there in that sperm? Is what you think?
Exactly. And I'm like, oh, that's in my body now.
I
Traveling through.
So next time you swallow a big load,
Oh
just
my God, Christina.
think
What
about
the fuck?
Mrs. Frizzle and her chameleon.
Never.
The way.
That is a fucking horrible thing to say to me.
That is
Why would
awful.
you cross my wires like that?
I know. I don't know.
I don't like
just,
it.
You know that there is
Oh,
there. You know that there's Mrs. Frizzle porn out there too.
Oh,
100%. You know there is. For like
No.
people who like
No. No.
yes.
Dude, my tainted
millennial men.
my tainted love later on in this episode introduced a whole new area of porn.
Oh, I cannot
no.
wait.
How
Well, I can't wait.
have you made it to this age and there's
And
a
the
new
new porn. Yeah, I think it's the special ordered fetish stuff
Okay.
Oh,
that's just like
Got
get
it.
the ick. Yeah, stuff you have to literally like send in a money order or something
Oh
for.
shit! A money order. God damn.
You got to go to the 7-Eleven.
You're like, I need a money order. Who do I make this out to? Don't worry about it.
I'll write it in.
I'll write it.
Don't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you know that like that company has to have some kind of like cover name,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, it's like Acme.
Sue's Bakeries.
yeah, yes, yeah.
You're like,
Abuela's cupcakes. is
why
what
do you
you're
need
like,
Why do you need a money order for a bakery? Don't
worry.
worry about it. I said.
Oh my god. Seriously.
But to bring it all back,
Not back to Miss Frizzle.
not back
please.
to Miss Frizzle, but back to your health and safety because we care about you, dear listener.
Dear listener,
just
we care
something
about you.
to think about is like really like the best thing. And like I did like that article because what it really came down to and what, you know, all the experts said was like the most important thing is to have open and honest communication with your partner about the state of their health and be aware of the state of your health, because at the end of the day, sure, if you have like cuts in your mouth, it might cause some issues in terms of like getting making it easier to get an STI or whatever. But the truth is, if the person is passing it, there's a chance that you might get it anyway. If they have it, there's a chance that you might get it anyway. So just something to be aware of. I thought that was interesting because I was like, I thought it was about to be some wacky shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it was
Like
just
fuck
like
up your teeth. You're like, what?
Yes. They're like, actually, it's really good for the enamel, so you just swish it around in there.
Oh God, Keegan.
I'm sorry. This podcast has turned me into a really fucked up person.
A monster.
No, I don't. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know where to go from here for a fuck, marry, kill. We've already gone to like
whose cum would you own? No, that's not it.
No, and it feels very wrong to do like kid shows.
And
characters.
Yeah.
We
We can't do that.
Again, the wires are crossed in a way that I don't love.
I don't want to examine that any further. Trying to think of what else is going on. I mean, we've got Harry and Meghan docuseries coming out this
watch
week.
The shit out of it.
I'm going to binge it.
I know. Cassie's like,
I'm all like, nah, that ain't for me.
That's okay. You know what? The thing is,
I'm all like,
I don't even care that much. Here's the thing.
did I watch the Oprah?
I don't even care that much, but all you motherfuckers hating so hard, I'm watching it out of spite.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? All you not wanting to support them
I
makes
don't not
me want to
support
them extra hard.
No, I want to support them.
Yeah.
That's not it at all. I
know.
strongly want to support them. I just don't know that I just don't have it in me to care enough to watch a whole show. I did watch the Oprah thing. I thought it was really fascinating.
Right.
I love that I love their love. I think that they did the thing that they needed to do. I just don't know how much more intrigued I can get about their story is all.
I mean, and truth, I feel the same way. Like, I'm like, honestly, totally happy for them and like all of that stuff. I'm going to watch it just because I'm like, I feel like
pure spite.
solidarity. Like I need to support them.
Yeah.
But as far as like, I'm not one of those people who like, I need to absorb every bit of like the information necessarily, but I do want to support them because the comments I see,
they're so hateful,
and they just don't make sense to me.
Right.
I'm like, the way that some of these people hate Meghan Markle feels so fucking weird.
Oh yeah, it's really aggressive.
Don't know her. I just want to remind people you don't actually.
Yeah, I'm not going around being like, oh my god, I'm a huge stan or whatever, because I don't know her either.
I'm talking about these people who are so angry.
I'm talking the other side either, where I'm just like, why?
To
you
this
have
degree.
Such a strong opinion about somebody you don't know.
And a lot of them like feel like
royal family.
And the royal family is fine. Okay? Like, are you really seriously? And a lot of these people, it's like they feel like they have to pick a team. Like it's like Team Kate or Team Meghan. And
that feels gross.
And that feels fucking weird
it's
and
the
gross.
racism, the misogyny.
The pitting women against each other for what? Like you don't really know.
Man,
like yes, there's all this rumor and all this stuff. And of course, like, we sit on this show and speculate all the time about stuff, but
that's
the truth
our
of it
job.
is,
this is why you come here.
This is why you listen. This is what we play for. But no, like the truth of it is we don't actually know what those two women, like we don't know what their relationship is like to each other. And we don't know. Yeah. And I'm sure that they've had like ups and downs because they're family.
I just
and, like,
can't imagine. Because in my mind, like, I'm like, they're just a family. Like you said, like, I really
wouldn't want tabloids speculating on what like mine and my sister's relationship is. You know what I mean? From the outside looking in, when you know what I mean?
It is so bizarre. Fucking
and to
weird.
feel like you need to plant your flag. To me, like that's kind of the weirdest thing. Is just like we need to like plant our flag on one team or the other.
Right.
And if I like Kate, then I automatically fuck Meghan. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that is such a fucking weird thing.
It is weird.
And they need to do what they need to do. Why are you so fucking invested with the fact that they wanted to live in a different country and get away from that stuff? Like, it's what they felt like they needed to do for them.
I guess that in my mind, I guess, is that I felt like, especially with the Oprah thing, having watched that, I felt like with them moving, with them kind of leaving that behind, kind of moving beyond like this kind of spotlight life was the goal. And so it feels like
a lot of people feel that way. Yeah. I think what you're saying, like it feels strange that they were putting themselves back in the spotlight. A lot of people I think feel that way too, but I do feel like there's a difference between other people putting a spotlight on you and telling your story, and you deciding to put a spotlight on yourself and tell your own story.
Sure.
Like to me, that feels very different.
Which I kind of felt like the Oprah thing was. And so I guess that's where I'm at. I'm like, I saw this already, didn't I? And maybe not. And I'll be interested to hear.
We'll let you
like,
know.
oh yeah, no, I'm like, let me know.
We'll let you know.
I guess I don't have, I guess where my point is I don't have a hard stand on either side of it.
Yeah, I totally understand, because same, except for like I want everyone to know every negative comment you leave just makes me want to stand them extra hard.
Every step you take, every breath.
Be like, I'm driving up to Montecito. I guarantee you, like, we would be besties. So,
would we be friends? For fucking
100.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, so here's a fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
What if we do fictional princes, period? So
Yes.
it doesn't have to be,
Okay.
doesn't have to be Disney princess or animated.
I already know.
What is it?
Ever After.
Okay.
What's he? Prince?
Oh, what is
he?
his
Harry
name?
Henry? Hold on, I gotta look.
I think it might be Henry.
I think it's
or something.
Henry.
Yes, I love him. I'm gonna pick a bad one.
Ooh.
Just to throw one in there, make it possibly a little harder. Let's do Prince Humperdink from Princess Bride.
Iocane powder. I bet my life on it. I fucking love that movie. So if you are a patron, we just reviewed When Harry Met Sally, which is one of my favorite movies.
Stunning.
But my favorite movie of all time is The Princess Bride.
So fucking good.
Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah, Billy Crystal's in that one too. Also a Billy Crystal vehicle.
It is Prince Henry, by the way, and Ever After.
Okay.
So we've got two actually similar looking princes thus far, I feel like.
Oh my goodness. We've got some
I'm trying to remember what Prince Humperdink looked like.
I think
he doesn't look awful, but
he's a bad guy. Oh, okay.
Yes,
yes,
he's a bad
there
guy.
he is. I see. Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
and
how dare you say that he's like Prince Henry?
Oh man, there's so many that we've done before.
There are two white men who have medium length brown hair.
It's true.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a really bad one. What is it? Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood. What's his name?
Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
You could do Prince Charming from Shrek with the big
Right.
jaw.
No, I just saw that. Oh my gosh. Black Panther is technically a prince.
Oh, well,
that's
we're
right.
all killing Humperdink. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is that, T'Challa?
Wow.
T'Challa,
T'Challa.
yeah.
Oh. Ooh, Chadwick. Okay.
I mean, come out.
Oh, okay. I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I am going to marry T'Challa. I mean, you gotta. He is noble.
Yeah.
He is hot. He gets to live in Wakanda.
That
Which looks like the
technology.
best place fucking ever to live.
ever. Angela Bassett gets to be your mother-in-law.
Oh my God.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That is so key. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. We were watching Spectre last night, which is a documentary series on Philip Spector, which of course included Tina Turner, which then made me think of Angela Bassett. And I immediately was like,
I love this train of thought for you. Yeah.
Love Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Every time I'm reminded
Queen.
of her,
Love her.
that's what comes to my mind.
Stunning in everything
Yeah.
she's ever been in ever. So, I mean, you get to marry Chadwick Boseman.
You're
and
like, all cops are bad. That thing where she's like on 911 now and she plays
you're
a
like,
cop and you're like, all cops are bad.
So yeah, I am gonna marry him because of course. And then I'll fuck Henry. Henry has a little. I love Ever After.
Yeah.
One of my very favorite movies. It's the best Cinderella rendition I've ever seen. Yeah. But Henry has a little bit of a man-child situation going on.
Yes.
He's got a little bit of spoiled prince happening.
But he turns out to be Like he learns. Like he comes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and,
comes around.
I'm rooting for them. I love that it works out. But I do think that little bit, I just think that T'Challa is more of a man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? When
For sure.
I love it. Where Henry is a little bit, he's just going to take a little while to mature. He's been a little spoiled and you can kind of tell. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, both him and Humperdink had that spoiled
man-child thing situation
Humperdink.
Going on.
Yeah. The way we're all going to kill Humperdink.
Of course. I was hoping one of you would pick another
I'm
bad guy.
So I think but I was like, no, I can't. Because I was like, could I overcome Humperdink?
T'Challa's so good.
Could I change him?
Like to fuck him or like to you don't want to marry a Humperdink.
No, I'm not marry a Humperdink.
No.
Yeah. I'm thinking about fucking him.
I think that
I know
it
what I'm
would be
gonna do.
spicier sex than Henry. Henry seems
This is true.
sensual.
This is true. I think I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to actually marry Prince Henry. And the only reason I'm not marrying Prince T'Challa is because I'm a white bitch and I don't belong in Wakanda, and I will not take a place that does not belong to me.
Wow.
But will I fuck that man?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say having a mother-in-law that's hotter than you is probably a difficult life.
Could I live?
It's a hard life.
I would be so insecure.
Yeah.
How do you compare?
You
I didn't
cannot
even think about that.
The insecurity level.
But
I can't.
I feel like she would make you feel really secure about yourself.
She wouldn't. No.
She would. I think she would go out of her way to be like, you're beautiful. I think, but it would be myself I'd have some things to overcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to marry T'Challa too.
Yeah.
It's just there's too much good things. You can't marry a Humperdink or a Henry. It's just they're too whiny. They're too.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, is it the choice I want to make? No. Is it the choice that I have to make?
I appreciate
that is the right
Yeah.
choice.
I do appreciate it, Cassie.
No, it makes sense.
You gave it that kind of thought.
Wakanda isn't mine. It doesn't belong to me, and in no way should I be the princess of a place like that. Like, come on, that's not even.
Or like Princess Cassandra.
The side eye cuts like a knife, just deep in my.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck Humperdink. I am.
I love this for you, actually.
I think that
It's a hate fuck.
likes to be dominated.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so too.
he does.
Definitely.
Oh, he does.
He thinks he wants a buttercup. He does not.
He does not.
not.
He wants a good spanking.
Yeah.
That's what he wants because he's been a bad,
He needs a good
bad
spanking.
boy.
Yeah. He has very naughty indeed.
Very
Yeah.
naughty. So yeah, I would definitely put on some leather and go to
teach
town.
this motherfucker some tricks.
Exactly.
I like it. That's
Oh
perfect.
man.
Yes. Wow. Well, you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
This episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens. This product I have been using daily for a while now, and I have to say I love using it because not only does it taste great, but I didn't want to be taking a bunch of different supplements. It's really nice and really simple to just get it in all in one fell swoop, and I'll tell you, it's made a huge difference to my gut health. So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. Special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All of the things.
Yeah, absolutely. It supports better sleep quality, better recovery. It supports mental clarity and alertness all over. I just feel better when I'm awake, when I go to bed at night. Athletic Greens is also a really sustainable company. Athletic Greens is a climate neutral certified company. In 2020, AG purchased carbon credits that support projects protecting old growth rainforests. And for every purchase, they donate to organizations helping to get nutritious food to kids in need, including No Kid Hungry here in the US.
Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with our convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/worstdate. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/worstdate to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Cheers!
This episode is brought to you by Smart Food, the sweet, salty snack you need this holiday season. Air Pop Popcorn, tossed in delicious white cheddar cheese, or mixed with sweet caramel and cheddar. It's the perfect snack for your smart holiday party. Shop now at snacks.com.
And we're back.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to start us off. All right. I think you guys will really like the journey I'm going to take you on here.
Amazing.
Okay. 3 years ago, I met this guy on Tinder. We chatted for a few weeks until he offered to drive to my place and pick me up to go to a large amusement park. So far, so good, right?
I love that they say large amusement park like they're trying to protect the like
brand.
The Six Flags or
Disneyland or whatever.
We don't want to tarnish their good name.
Yeah.
Well, it was Thursday and it was a national holiday, so we both had the day off. And the next day
everyone.
as well, since it is custom to take Friday off for those people
Did
who
you
enjoy
go
an extended weekend.
Thanksgiving?
Or like 4th of July or something like that, maybe.
Okay.
And he came to pick me up at 9 a.m. As a typical woman, I was not ready yet, so I invited him in so he could wait on my couch. 10 minutes later, I returned to find an unexpected view.
Oh, no. Did he do a naked man?
As he sat on my couch, he had wrapped himself in my couch blanket and was shivering like crazy.
Oh, no.
Oh.
His face was pale with a hint of green, and his eyes had a certain held-back panic about them.
Oh,
Honey.
no.
Surprised and worried, I asked him if he was okay.
Was he bit by a zombie? Was he? Is it a zombie
Yeah,
bite?
it's a zombie
I'm like,
apocalypse.
get him out, kick him out. I've seen Shaun of the Dead. I don't want this.
Surprised and worried, I asked him if he was okay, but he assured me he was just a bit cold, which was silly because it was midsummer.
Why are you green, my dude?
Even though it was just 9 a.m., it was already 20 degrees Celsius outside, and the sun was shining, heating up my little apartment like a tiny sauna. So I went into nurse
you're
mode.
sick for sure.
Yeah.
I checked his forehead, smoking hot. I asked him if he had the flu or any flu-like symptoms, and he answered no.
He really wanted to go on this date. He liked you a lot.
I asked him if he's feeling nauseous, which he confirmed, but he said he hadn't eaten anything strange. I asked him if he was feeling pain. He denied vehemently, so I knew I was on the right track, and I repeated my question. He finally answered, his butt hurt, and had been hurting for 2 days now, actually.
My guy.
I'm sorry.
Hurt
I get there's
what
so many
kind of hurt?
places in your butt like to hurt. Like
Yeah,
my
which
your,
part?
your cheek is bruised.
Inside the butt?
Is your booty hole
on the outside? On the outside of the butt?
Is it inside the hole?
Is it a
like
burning
outside
sensation?
the hole.
A dull sensation? A
Where we
sharp
at?
pain?
Where are we at here?
He's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I said don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry
said
about it.
it's fine.
It's only been 2 days.
It's only been 2 days.
I live 5 minutes
Got a
away from the
booty
hospital. So I put him in my car and drove there. On the way over, he started vomiting all over the interior of my car.
Oh, sir.
At the ER, he continued to hurl, even though he must have had little left in his stomach. So he ran to the bathroom there, and I checked him in. We were sent to a separate room immediately, which fueled his fears. Soon the doctor came in and asked him the same questions I had, followed up by a request for him to drop his pants so the doctor could look at the painful
This
area.
is your first date.
It's the first date.
I'm
Getting real
can she
intimate.
leave?
Yeah, I'm like, can I step outside? I've never seen this man naked.
I've never seen
Why
his
am I
thigh.
here?
I do not
Although
want to see his
I'm
bunghole.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, I would like his consent first because I don't want to violate him. But low key curious at this point. I'm like, I've driven you here.
Shit, get that booty hole out.
I kind
Let's
of
see what's going on.
Spread them. I'd love to see what's going on in there.
What is going on up
Oh,
there?
no.
Naturally, I looked away to give him some privacy.
Well, that's nice.
The ceiling had a
I'd
fascinating
be
pattern,
gone.
I must say. It turned out The top of his butt crack was inflamed and he needed surgery immediately
What did he do?
to open it up and remove all the pus.
Oh, my cat had that. She did.
Oh my God. Well,
It's the same.
They
have like glands. They have like anal glands.
at her booty hole, and they had to express it. They had to cut it open.
Wow. I felt this was my cue to leave.
Yeah.
But my date asked me to stay until the surgery because he was afraid something would go wrong.
Honey, can I call your mom?
He knew no one in the area and had never been in surgery.
I'd stay.
I stayed and soothed him past his fears. We convinced the nurses I was his girlfriend as they had wanted to kick me out. I took care of him and entertained him and played house with him for the nurses until 8 p.m. This all started at 9 in the morning.
No.
When the surgery was planned. Before he was whisked away, he asked me to call his mother as soon as he was out. I did, and after he was back in his room safe and sound around 11 p.m., we said our goodbyes. I told him we'd get our chance for a do-over when he was back to his usual health.
She's an angel.
But in reality, I thought this is going to be the last time I hear from him.
Yeah, you're not going to hear from this guy.
The next morning, my phone rang with some unexpected news. He would be sent home since it was Friday, but needed to come back on Monday for a checkup on the wound. During the weekend, he needed to be taken care of.
No.
He couldn't sit, walk, or do anything basically besides lying on his side.
Listen, your mom needs to fly in.
Your mom needs to come get you, my dude.
Like, I mean, if I didn't know, my mom actually would. Like, if I didn't know anybody and like I was in a situation, my mom would come take care of me.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a lot to put on someone you just met. You can't. Like, they're gonna have to help you like pee and shit. Like,
just wait.
No.
So I drove to the hospital and loaded him into my car and brought him back to my place where I had to feed him, dress him.
Wait, do his hands not work?
Yeah.
And clean out his open butt crack wound 2 times a day by removing the old bandages, flushing out the smelly liquids with water, and put a new bandage on. And if he had to go to the bathroom,
I knew it was coming.
He needed my help getting there and undressing. If he had done a number 2, he had to inform me since I would have to clean out his wound.
Fuck you. I don't know you like this.
No, it's incredibly intimate. Like, look,
Honey.
I would do that for any one of you if we were in a situation.
You need to offer to pay this woman.
That's right.
This is an in-home
You're a private nurse.
Job. Yes, you don't know this person. Like,
Thank God she's a fucking nurse. It wouldn't have been me. I'll tell you that. It would not have been me.
No, I would call your mom. I really would. I'd be like, look, you guys got to figure something out.
You'd be like, Pam, you need to get your ass over here and take care of your son.
Or you pay for
I'm gonna have
a
to
nurse.
get you a nurse.
You pay for a nurse or
Put her in a nursing home. Shit. That's what them's for.
Monday evening,
Why
after
can't you be in the hospital on the weekend? I am so fucking confused.
they're like, get out.
Come back on Monday.
And come back on Monday. Monday
We're
evening.
closed. We're
That
closed
is
on the
funny.
weekends. What?
Yeah, it's funny. They're like, since it was Friday, he had to go home. It's like, what?
They're like, we just aren't open Saturday and Sunday. Right?
Nope, the butt doctor is only
She said
Monday
Celsius
through
is
Friday.
national healthcare system.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know.
Maybe
they're
I don't know. Write
stricter
in
there.
and let us know how that works.
Monday evening, after he'd had his checkup in the hospital, his parents finally came to pick him up. Since his wounds still needed tending to, I had to demonstrate to his mother how to clean out the wound on her son and rebandage it. Meaning I hung over his naked ass, hosing down his butt crack with my shower head while his father watched from the doorway.
No.
I've checked out. I'm sorry. My brain left the building. I can't. This is so ridiculous. I'm so pissed off. I'm so mad. It angers me.
Honestly, this is truly someone who has no boundaries. Like, she's just like, okay.
So, okay, this is fine. Needless to say, I didn't date for a while after.
No.
Not that he didn't want to. He kept on asking me for do-overs and even invited me for his father's birthday.
Well, you know each other pretty well now.
Yeah.
In the end, I just couldn't. We're still friends though, and he has a lovely girlfriend now.
I'm sorry. She was putting on her makeup thinking she was going to spend a day at Disneyland. She's like, maybe we'll ride the teacups. And then fucking...
Gonna be cleaning out at a
fuck
booty
you.
hole.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Cassie's
I'm
furious.
fucking furious. I hate this date worse than this. Somebody asked me today, what's the date that sticks out? This might be it.
I mean,
Fuck
this
date.
one is...
Fuck you.
They don't know each other at all.
No.
I'm just
No.
like, and yeah, you're right. Like, it was so intense and so much like caregiving. I don't think
That's like
that
a fucking
I could.
staph infection.
I
Like,
don't
what
think
the
that I
fuck?
could get over that in
Yeah,
order to like be
you're-
like, okay, let's first date now. You know what I mean?
You're not going to
Like,
see this
no.
person romantically now. Like that
No.
is shit that you do for your partner after you've been together for a
Yes.
really long time. Like that
Yes.
is not something that you do first date. And God
That's
bless
not keeping
her.
it sexy. I'll tell you that.
It is not
No.
keeping it sexy. And God bless her, you know, like that is an angel on earth to
that
do
is
those things.
a good Samaritan
Well,
for sure.
but
That karma's coming back for her too.
Yeah, I'm like,
You know what?
Mama, what took you so long? What took
Yeah.
you so long?
Well,
She's
maybe like
we were-
the hospital, the airports are
Yeah,
closed
they're
on the
like,
weekends.
they're closed on the
too.
weekend. Sorry, we couldn't get to you. I'm like,
Yeah, your son has like a serious butt
his
infection.
ass is ripped
that
open.
a stranger has to clean out.
Why did he
Absolutely
come on that
not.
date? Why did he come?
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, and I love my son a lot, but I'm hiring a fucking nurse to take care of that shit.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want.
I mean, thank God this woman was a nurse because, like, that's the only way she handled it.
I actually don't know if she was.
Oh.
I
She just said nurse
She said
mode.
she went
she went into
nurse
nurse
mode, so I thought,
mode,
but-
so maybe, but she was like, maybe
Well, if she's
she
not,
is a
maybe
nurse.
she should consider a career
yeah.
change.
Yeah, because honestly, if that's
She-
how well
You're
you're going to
listening.
take care of a
She
stranger,
cleaned the shit out of his ass
I
wound.
listen. I need you to stop talking about it immediately.
You
if
look like
not
you're gonna
sooner.
punch me in the
I
face.
fucking hate it.
Honestly, I've never seen you look at me like that.
I took you guys on a journey. I hope you guys.
I don't even know if I can read my story right now. Like, do you guys want to take 5 and come back with another set of stories?
You're like, Christina, you want to try that again and not piss me off?
Oh my god! Oh, I read through that and I was like, this cannot be happening. Because first and foremost, yeah, if he's feeling like that bad,
Bad on him.
Honey,
why
to go on
why
that
are you
date.
there?
Go there.
Thank you.
And like, you know what
And
your ass feels like? You have an infection in your booty.
You're
so bad that
sweating.
they were like, you need to go into surgery today.
This is why you don't invite fuckers to your house. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
That's true. I'll meet you at the park.
That's right. Meet you at the
And
entrance.
you let Disney police take care of your booty.
That's goddamn right. They got those band-aids or shit. and they
Put
got
a
you.
Mickey Mouse Band-Aid right over the top of it. Oh no.
Oh my god.
I'm fucking mad, dude.
Can't stop laughing.
I can't stop thinking about her
so-
demonstrating. So first
Stop
you're gonna
it.
want to
No.
take the bandages off, and then like the dad in
She's
the
like-
doorway in khaki
I
pants.
see
just
it.
watching
I fully
She's
see
like,
it.
Trevor, bend over real quick. I gotta get the hose out. Hold on.
takes a
Trevor.
shower head, and you really want to spread the cheeks in case he's gone number 2.
Hey, Travis, you paying attention?
Oh God. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll get over it. It's
Wow.
Oh, no.
really funny.
How do you get
Do you
infection?
use,
He
like,
said it was at
betadine
the
with that?
top
Like
of his
the-
butt crack. So is that
red?
like his tailbone or something?
Yeah, like was his tail coming out?
I need to know
Like
what
the way
he
that I thought of
did.
Shallow Hal again. With
Oh my god!
why is that
movie
movie
like
twice?
Twice
in one
day.
night? That's too much.
That's weird.
I need to know what he was doing to rip his butthole.
No, I think he just had an infection that he didn't rip it. They had to cut it open to express out the goop.
The puss.
I think it's called pus.
This is too much.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Matilda. I was thinking of my cat. I was literally thinking about my cat because she had to have the same thing done.
It's still called pus.
But a puss is a cat.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Cassie, tell your fucking story. We have to. This is what happens when we record on weeknights.
Oh my god.
Every fucking
Slap
time.
fucking happy. I swear to God. I am literally crying.
point, I'm feeling really bad for Thomas because he's just
Don't kind of fucking thing,
no,
Thomas.
leave it, but
Don't you dare.
it's truly unhinged.
Oh my God.
Oh,
We've gone down a path.
Clean out that.
Okay.
But the way
Think about Shallow Hal. Think about Shallow Hal.
Yeah, the most unfunny movie to exist.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine.
Everything's good.
fine.
Back to our normally scheduled
Oh
programming.
my
I said, don't worry
God.
about it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I can see this through. The story was sent to us. The story was sent to us in our inbox. And it starts out.
All right, we might really need to take a break.
I know.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Oh my God.
All right, let's try this again.
Okay. All right. So this story came to us in our inbox, and it starts out Hurricane Ida had hit, but it was lineman season. I had met.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Did we ever talk about that on this
Yes,
podcast?
we did.
The
What
linemen?
were they called? Something
Bucket
bunnies?
bunnies.
Bucket bunnies.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a real bucket bunny story.
I love it.
I had met this one utility guy from out of state. Things were just starting to open up again, and he wanted to take me to dinner. I was relieved because most dates seemed to just want to Netflix and chill. I just wasn't down for that. He said he'd even make reservations for 7. So I worked out and was starved by evening. When he didn't show, I texted once, I promise, just once. But when I didn't hear back, I called my friend and said, yeah, looks like I've been stood up. Now, I'll admit I broke a safety rule because I should have just met him there. This is a lot of people don't. How many times we say this?
Yeah, you gotta
them there.
meet at the location.
Yeah,
meet
that's
at
right.
the location on a first date. Don't have them over at your house. You might end up with somebody in your apartment for a week with a broken ass.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I gave him my address to pick me up because I didn't want to drive and if I had a few drinks. My home address is public information, though. Anyone with a simple Google search could find it. He showed up. I'm like,
Don't tell them that.
I know. Don't tell everybody that. What was her name again? He showed up around 8:30 to say that the restaurant wasn't taking reservations. There was an hour wait and they closed at 10. I told him, no worries.
Can we go to a different restaurant then?
Yeah.
Dude, at this point, she's hungry. It's just like, let's just go to Carl's Jr., you know, or something.
Right? Honestly. I told him, no worries. We could drive around and find some place to get a drink. A drink after
On an
you've not.
empty
Oh yeah.
tum-tum.
Look,
not
we've all
ready.
been there. I've been there for sure. Where I'm like, I didn't eat
It's
all
been
day.
too
and
late.
I'm like,
Gone
yeah.
too long. You've gotten to that point where you're just not even actually hungry
You're
anymore.
not even hungry anymore, but your body's like, look, you might not be hungry, but we're still not going to be able to metabolize this alcohol correctly. So
Yeah.
But we should grab a cocktail, right? Because your
Well,
brain's like,
yeah, it's
well,
cocktail time.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's time for that.
Yeah.
Well, because the hurricane had hit a week ago, most places we tried had already closed. At that point, I was like, even a Coke at a gas station would be sufficient because all I had was just water at my house since the electricity had just come back on.
No.
Oh, honey, maybe not a great time for a date.
No, not a great
Yeah.
time for a date or a drink because like you've literally had no calories, like
Yeah.
nothing for your body to even.
You know,
like,
and
work
if you
with.
stop at a gas station,
yeah,
get yourself a nice little hun bun or something.
yeah,
You
yeah. A Slim Jim if you eat meat.
yeah.
That's a good quick source of protein.
Get yourself one of the mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those Planters peanuts.
Oh, yeah. Cashews.
Yep.
Oh, man.
some cashews. Yeah.
It's
we
no
know.
longer No Nut November,
Yeah.
so Cass.
That's right. We're
Cashews.
safe.
You're safe.
Cashew safe. There was a small diner open with a drive-through wrapped around the block, but he drove right past it. Even after I mentioned that we could try it.
Oh my God! Feed this woman.
Oh my God. He showed me all the work they were doing and explained that. I'm like, dude, I'm
don't
hungry. Explained the somewhat interesting but still boring electrical work that they did and something about hazardous material by 10 p.m. I was like, well, I got to work in the morning. It's been fun. He asked to use my bathroom when he dropped me off.
Whoa! Hold on. They didn't.
So they've
eat.
just been driving around.
Just driving around, and he's telling her about all the fascinating utility work he's been doing.
No, that's not a date.
No. His wife, who lives in the other state, don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's
You're
making
fine.
she's making a TikTok right
She's
now.
stay off of my man, you bucket bunnies. And you're like, honey, your man just drove me around the entire town where we have no electricity, telling me about his fascinating work. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
As I sat on my sofa, he came out and said I was just so beautiful. He
Get out
had
of
to
my
kiss
house.
me. When I politely kissed him, the way
We don't need a
I've
polite kiss.
I've done a polite
So
kiss.
have I.
yeah,
So have
done
I.
Yep.
But we shouldn't. And we should stop. We should stop that right now.
Politely kissed him. He started, let's just say he tried to take it real far, real fast. I'll spare you the details. I immediately pulled back and tried to change the subject. But when he persisted, I asked him to leave. I cried that night because I couldn't believe the disrespect in my own home.
Yeah.
I cried because I didn't understand the signals I put out to even suggest that this is what I wanted.
This is not your fault.
No.
And look, with a person like this, it doesn't take any signals.
No.
Like, he would have done this anyway.
He spent 0 cents on you, and all he was clearly looking for was
he's not interested in whether or not you are having a good time or you're having any
Fed.
of your needs met. Yeah, exactly. Like, you've already said
Yeah.
you're hungry, you know. So he's just a disrespectful piece of shit.
Yeah. She says, I get sick of people telling me I have social media full of sexy shots that justify guys' behavior toward me. No hashtag cardio and hashtag fitness, and never mind all the other posts that aren't any of that. Doesn't make me this, you know? Mm-hmm. Plus, that as I get older, I want to remember the good times I had and motivate myself to stay fit and healthy. It's how a lot of my girlfriends and I spend time together at pools, on hikes and walks, and having fun, looking our best while we do it. We are a lot of fun. That's why my conversations online are about fitness, careers, friends, dreams as an artist, but people project what they want to see. So basically, she's like, this guy just reached out to her because he was in town and thought, you're hot because you work out. And you're basically trying to, she's asking,
type of
you're
person.
this girl.
I think that sometimes people think that if you have a certain kind of online presence, that means something about you. And that's
Exactly.
not the case. Like, you know, just because or this person rather, likes to look a certain way online, or likes to, you know, maybe they work out and they like displaying their body online or anything like that, doesn't mean that you
still
can call them
know
up.
anything
You don't know
about
them. Yeah, you do not know anything about them.
Well, she
other
knows
than what
plenty
they're
about
like.
his line work and
Now she does.
the utilities.
Yeah, now
that
she
are
does.
happening.
But yeah, for sure.
Can
It's
you
just
imagine?
like, but I feel like that happens a lot where people just make assumptions based on what they see online. And we've had this conversation many times that, like, social media isn't real. Like, you don't really know anybody based on like what you see on any of their social media platforms. Like, you have to get to know them as a person, and to make those kinds of assumptions about somebody is really fucking rude and dehumanizing. Like, doesn't that feel very like,
oh, it's so gross.
yeah.
She's like, I cry because no one seems to take the time to get to know me anymore. Anyway, nothing's for free. And the guy didn't even buy me a drink. He never contacted me again. And I just chose to stay single rather than be treated badly.
Yeah.
So, and she does have, it sounds like she has a lot of bad dating stories and has a blog of her own that she said you can follow. It's at Reels Are Addicting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll
There
check
you go.
that out. Thanks for writing in. But yeah, no, it is. We've had a lot of, or I've read a lot of stories too, where it is being on the apps can feel very dehumanizing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because
Totally.
you're dealing with just an avatar version of yourself, a character version of yourself. So it's really difficult to get beyond the online persona to get to anything real. So
Truly. I think that, I mean, the apps have almost become, you might as well meet somebody through Instagram these days. The way that it's so
and it feels very much
tied.
like it's like ordering a pizza. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel real. I mean, I've never been on an app, but that's kind of how I feel like people interact on like social media a lot, where I'm just like,
oh, I definitely felt like there were times I was just door dashing dick.
yeah, where it's just like, what are you looking for tonight, or like today, or whatever. And like, using the apps in that way isn't inherently bad if that's what there's a mutually agreed upon, like, this is what we're doing or whatever. But there are people, because that is what people use now to try and find relationships, that there are people on the apps looking for relationships. And it does feel like you have to put all these things on there to make yourself look as appealing as possible so that somebody can go through and check off the list of ingredients or toppings that they want for their fucking like...
Only to take you around your own city that's been without electricity for the past week.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks.
Worse.
Ugh. Hate that. Okay, this is a holiday story.
Ooh.
I was dating a guy for a few months when Christmas rolled around. He had recently started a new job that required travel. This was before smartphones and built-in GPS in your car were common, so I splurged a bit and got him a Garmin to help him find his way. Garmin, you remember? I had a TomTom.
I had a Garmin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thoughtful, useful, but not too sentimental. It felt perfect for where the relationship was at the time. Dude, that's actually a really good point. Now that we're like in the holiday season.
That's a great gift.
When you've been in a relationship for a few months, you don't want to get anything overly sentimental, but you want to get something like nice because you've been together for a second. Like, that's a great,
really good one. Thoughtful.
Thought. Yeah. Due to schedules, we couldn't get together until a few days after Christmas. The second I saw him, my stomach dropped. In my haste to go see him, I walked right out the door without his gift. I didn't realize it until I got to his house, and I felt terrible, but he said, "No worries, I'll give you your gifts now, and I'll just get mine later."
You had an S behind that gift.
Gifts, yeah.
Ooh.
Cool. So, cool. So he goes into the other room and comes back with 2 wrapped gifts. I noticed some of the paper was messed up, like it had been rewrapped, but didn't think much of it in the moment.
Re-gifts.
I carefully unwrapped the first package, and I couldn't believe my eyes. It was an MMA magazine.
Oh, what?
That had clearly been read.
Wait,
I was
wrapped it?
confused. I do
I'm
not
sorry.
like MMA. Not even a little
What?
bit. Nor have I ever expressed interest in MMA.
Bitch is about to have herself a new Garmin.
Not once. He, on the other hand, loved all things MMA.
Huh.
Trying to move on, I politely thanked him, set the magazine down,
What?
and refocused on
The
the
way
next
this
gift.
bitch ain't me, because I'd be like, what the fuck is
Fuck is
this?
this?
Cassie.
I'm the worst.
You really would. What the
Damn.
fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?
An MMA magazine.
Honey.
A magazine.
Honey.
How do you wrap a magazine?
It's pretty flimsy, yeah. I could tell it was a DVD from the shape of the package.
Oh, no.
And indeed, it was a DVD.
From his collection.
A Forrest Gump DVD with the cellophane wrapper missing. Now,
She opened it up. It's like a different disc. It's like a porn. You're like, God damn it.
now, don't get me wrong. Forrest Gump is a fine choice, except I already owned Forrest Gump on DVD. And now here I was, suddenly the proud owner of a second copy that appeared used.
The proud owner of a
used
scratched ass.
Forrest Gump DVD and a magazine I am not interested in whatsoever.
I thanked him. I again thanked him and sat there quietly, trying to wrap my head around
The way
how...
I'd be like, what is happening?
Oh, the way I'm returning that Garmin and getting him like
The way I'm having a
literally
Garmin now.
the most random gifts.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
No, I'm gonna find something around my house, like a fucking candle that's already been
Well,
burnt.
that's what he did.
Yeah,
You know?
honestly, this candle's already been burnt. I know that
I
video's
know.
already been watched too, motherfucker.
I again thanked him and sat there quietly, trying to wrap my head around how he could have arrived at the conclusion that a used magazine on a topic I didn't like and a secondhand DVD of something I already own would make for good Christmas gifts. He also got a little quiet, then sheepishly volunteered, I got bored, so I watched the movie yesterday.
Motherfucker, you lying sack of shit. That is a movie that has
from
been
your
in your
collection.
collection,
Yes.
and you do not no longer want it.
And in my head too, this is like had this happened like 2 years ago. So not even when like Forrest Gump
would
first
be
came out on
hilarious.
DVD. Like
Even better,
Yes.
even better.
I just stared. And then I hadn't seen that issue yet, so I went ahead and read through it. I think you'll really like it.
Honey.
I slowly responded, so you got me a magazine because you wanted to read it and then watched the movie you got me because you were bored. His only response was, well, yeah, I guess so. I left not long after. The next day, I returned the Garmin for a full refund.
There you go, girl.
Yeah.
About a week later, he called and said he didn't think it was working out. No problem. I said, I don't think it's working out either. As we were wrapping up the call, expressing well wishes and all that, he paused for a beat and said, hey, can
I get my
were you
DVD
still gonna
back?
give me that Christmas present?
Not fuck you, motherfucker. the way I would rewrap that magazine.
You're like,
oh,
"Here you
yes,
go.
I did.
It's a really good issue. I think you'll like it.
Oh my God.
No, actually,
The
you should wrap up your
audacity.
issue of Cosmo and give it to him.
There
Here
you go.
Yeah.
Here's
50 ways to please your man.
here's an old issue of Vogue. You know,
Yeah,
I had
enjoy
laying
that.
around.
September
Oh
issue.
my
It's a
gosh.
good one.
Yeah. It's a
I even
real
got
good
you the
one.
thick one.
I dog-eared all the pages.
You're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it.
You're
I
gonna
got
like it.
bored yesterday, so
I thought I'd
flip
go
through
ahead
it.
and mark the places I think you'd like. so.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
You guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Sounds good.
This episode is brought to you by Expensify. Managing your expenses and bills can be so tricky, especially if you are not like a math-minded person. I know that I am not, especially when you're traveling. I mean, managing all of your receipts, keeping them all organized and doing all of that stuff can be really, really difficult. And that is why I love Expensify. They make it easy.
One way Expensify can save you time and energy is no more tracking down a receipt. You just take a picture as soon as you make the purchase, and Expensify will save it for you, automatically reading the merchant, date, currency, and amount. Easy as that. Or better yet, link your credit card, and Expensify will just auto match all those receipts to the expense and submit a report for you automatically.
Expensify knows that your time is precious, so they designed their app with one goal in mind: to make it easy for you to manage your expenses, bills, invoices, and business travel all in one place so you can focus your time elsewhere. Download the app or head over to Expensify.com to get started on your free trial today. Expensify. Easy money. Cheers!
This episode is sponsored by State Farm. Buying insurance can be complicated, and you might have a lot of questions, like, what if my policy doesn't cover that? Or, what if I need to make a claim in the middle of the night? Good news, State Farm is there for all your what-ifs. You can reach them 24/7, talk through any questions with your agent, and you can even file a claim on the State Farm mobile app. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com to get a quote today. This episode is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado. According to J.D. Power, Chevy trucks won more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand. But champions don't stop. They keep moving forward. And that's what the Chevy Silverado is all about. It delivers next-level off-road capability with a refreshed interior, advanced technology, plus a larger, more functional bed than any competitor for the ultimate tailgate flex. To learn more, visit Chevy.com. For J.D. Power 2022 U.S. award information, visit jdpower.com/award.
And we're back.
Okay, so I was not even in the place where I was looking for a Tainted Love.
You weren't looking for love? It just found you?
It just found me. It found me.
Yeah.
It found me in a brand new Peacock documentary that came out
Okay.
called Dangerous Breed, Crime, Cons,
This
Cats.
is the story.
Oh my God.
This is what you told us to watch?
Yes.
I haven't watched it.
It's a
Yes.
real puss-heavy episode.
It is. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's a real puss heavy episode. I want that to be the title now.
Oh my God. Okay, so Edward Ellsworth Annis was born in 1980 into wrestling royalty.
Oh, okay.
See, he's the nephew of professional wrestlers Bret Hart and Owen Hart, and he's better known by his ring name, Teddy Hart. The Hart family.
The way I know.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
You can say the Hart
Yep.
family is royalty.
I don't know them.
When I tell you, we rented the episode where I think it was Brett who died.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
He died?
In the ring. Yeah.
In the ring.
It was they literally like he was supposed to come in on a suspension, and they panned away to the audience really quickly, and because the thing had snapped, he
fell and died.
Yeah.
It was fucked up. Anyway,
The Hart family, like it started off, I think the patriarch's name was like Stu Hart or whatever. They didn't go into it in this documentary, but like all the uncles, like everybody trained in the Hart dungeon. It was like they converted their basement pretty much into like a wrestling school. And like all of the Hart boys, nephews, cousins, all of them were like pro wrestlers. So it's no surprise when Teddy becomes the youngest ever to sign a professional contract with WWE. He's like
Got in his
just
blood.
18. Yeah, exactly. It is also no surprise when he's the youngest ever fired from the
Well, he's 18.
Yeah, he's got
No discipline.
attitude problems.
Well, right. And he's like practically royalty.
Yeah, he's just he
got
was
Humperdink
fired
energy.
Totally. And I'm going to show you pictures like throughout this, but the documentary is it's something I have never heard of this guy before. I'd never heard anything. It was the wildest. It was like
I don't know him
Joe
really.
Exotic times 2. It was
Oh, okay.
nuts.
Okay. Oh, wow. I'm invested.
So still, he's able to make a living wrestling, just not with WWE. He's doing like local shows and all of those different amateur rings, like Major League Wrestling and
You know
cable
that
access.
His family was just like
Cable access.
Yeah, he's kind of the black sheep for sure.
It's like if you have like a waspy family who like they all went to like Harvard.
And you
like,
went to Princeton.
Yeah.
Loser.
On the side, he liked to market that he had his own school.
Okay.
Where you could learn from the best, him, of course. And he also liked to breed Persian show cats, often having 50 to 100 of them at a time
That's too
in
many.
his house.
Does
That
he
is
have
too
people taking care of them?
Many.
Well, this is in the early 2000s where reality shows only wanted a weird character.
Well, there it
Yeah.
is.
And they would just sign you a show and you
Okay.
would be rich and famous. So an aspiring Canadian filmmaker, Frederick Croach, thought he'd hit the jackpot. This is this kooky wrestling royalty, weed smoking, cat breeding guy.
Okay. Can I also say smoking a lot of weed, no judgment, but like smoking a lot of weed and having that many cats is a terrible combination.
It's also not a personality trait.
The way you get so sleepy, like you are not ready to clean that many litter boxes.
No.
You are not.
Well, let me tell you. So he's living in this house.
It smells like ammonia.
And I didn't find out until later in the episode. Ain't his house. It's his wife's house. He's
married?
Faye Hart, yes, who owns a very successful, she's like a millionaire. She runs a successful escort business in Canada.
That's what this story needed.
Yeah. And she's the one that's feeding all the cats, taking care of cats.
Yikes.
Meanwhile, her house has nothing but like weed posters up. It looks like a 15-year-old boy's room.
Is one a black light poster? It's like one of those
black light posters.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God,
No.
I know. And cats everywhere.
No. Time out. No.
Those cats deserve better. They can't
I'm
live
like,
in that.
How do you name 50 cats?
Honey,
How do you name 100 cats?
Your house. And this guy, but
I have a million
Yeah,
questions
me
right
too.
now. I'm
She
imagining
was
it's a big house.
it's a huge house.
That's
it's
covered-
her house. It's
But
and
you
it's
can't
like,
keep that clean. Do they have someone come? I have so many questions
here.
about the cleanliness of this house. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
it ain't clean.
oh yeah.
It's not clean.
So he's like Frederick starts like trying to film him, he's like, okay, like this documentary is going to be huge. Like this reality show could be huge. He's going to
wearing,
try
like,
to make a big comeback.
a hazmat
This guy
suit.
walks around all the time in like wrestling clothes. He's got like the cut beard and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm the best around. And there's cats like, and he just like picks up cats and he's like, sometimes I like to throw them.
No.
He just throws.
No.
He's just yeeting cats in the air.
No.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? It's awful.
Babies.
It's awful.
Oh,
we hate it.
I hate that.
But see,
I want you to hate it more.
Faye does the majority of the work caring for all the cats while Teddy smoked weed and just talked shit. And any other help around the house or personal assistant work that needed done was done by people Teddy had suckered into paying him money monthly to train with him. So he would be like, train at the best wrestling school. But
the best wrestling school
before you get in the ring.
Smells like cat shit.
Before you get in the ring, you got to spend a few months, I got to see if you're up to snuff. So you're going to take care of these cats. And
so he's doing like a Karate Kid situation where he's like, I'll teach you how to be a great wrestler by like scooping a litter box. Like, stop it.
Yes. So most people hung out for a few months doing random errands without ever stepping foot in the ring. So Frederick's following this chud around, and all of a sudden now there's his wife Faye, and all of a sudden a new girlfriend, Michelle. And
he got two women?
He got two hot, fine ass women.
Fucking mouth. Right now.
And he's like, yeah, we're poly and it's a big happy family. And I mean, it feels so early 2000s reality show. It's so egregious. It's a fucking egregious. And cats everywhere.
So wait, what?
So yeah.
So
Frederick's filming all this stuff and he's like making out with Michelle, then making out with Faye, and then Michelle and Faye are making out, and he's like, yeah, okay, this reality show's awesome.
You two kiss.
And he's sending it to like a whole bunch of people, and people are like, we do not want this.
Not interested.
Not interested at all.
It is
zero
chaos
interest.
with no plot.
No, it's none.
Just
because
pure chaos.
Everyone's like, that guy is never going to get his shit together and make a comeback.
Look at him.
He is a loser. No. And I don't want to watch him. And also, is this animal abuse?
Yes. You cannot throw cats in the air.
No, yeah. You can't. So it's just really ick, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that the next time Frederick hears about Teddy Hart, he's wanted for arrest in Canada for sexual assault and unlawful restraint from the testimony of his wife, Faye, and his girlfriend, Michelle. Turns out he'd been holding both women hostage by hanging on to their passports and not letting them leave, physically, verbally, and emotionally abusing them. And what pissed me off when I saw the episode, so Frederick sets this whole thing off. He's like, I spent so much time like trying to do this thing. And then he's like, then I got these accusations. And then he's like going through the footage, and he actually has footage of Teddy saying the most fucked up shit to Faye. Like at one point he's like, man, I wish that, I was one of those guys that would just come in and rape you.
No.
He's like, a little rape is fine.
No.
And stuff like that. And I'm like,
what?
Wait, why are you surprised? You got that on tape.
What the fuck is what?
So why are you shocked when you sat there and filmed him saying something like that?
This fucking guy is super questionable anyway, because like there is something about like, I understand like the point of reality shows is that you're not supposed to interfere because like that's the thing, is it's supposed to be like reality and you're supposed to let shit happen. But I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't sit around and like watch someone abuse a bunch of animals and be like, I'm just gonna keep the fucking film rolling and like that's fine. Yeah. So it's not surprising to me that like he also was just like looking the other way because he's like, this is a cash cow, I'm gonna make so much money and I'll just look the other way on all this other like weird fucking abuse and shit.
And all of us know that reality, I mean, the way that you
yeah, and
one more time
his thing
from the top,
he's like I thought he was putting it on for the cameras and I thought the girls were fine and whatever, but you can look, you can look at the footage and you're like, it feels fake and it feels staged and it just does not feel fine. Nothing about this feels fine. So
maybe he thought that it was fake and staged.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing I could.
Yeah, because Teddy Hart's like personality is so like wrestling, so fucking
over the top,
over the, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
I mean, I'll give you that maybe for like the things he was saying, but the fact is, and I'm sorry if I'm getting like hung up on this, but if you are throwing animals around
You're not.
Like, the thing
he was
is,
I'm hung up on it
catching them,
too.
but still,
Yes, but
it wasn't like
still,
he was like yeeting them
have
like
you met
into
a cat?
walls. But
like,
yeah,
they're
they don't like
not cool with
That's
that.
they're
not
not
fucking
okay
cool.
with
At all.
it.
And so I'm just like, that's not just for the cameras, because it's like, or
Yeah.
whether or not it is quote unquote just for the cameras, it's causing real harm. So
Yeah.
it's like, this is a person who's like
That
capable of
behavior-
causing harm. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if he's doing it just for the cameras, it's still harmful. So it's something that you should keep your fucking eye on.
Right. So Frederick decides to still continue to follow this dude around to give him both a platform and credibility. And at this time,
Okay, how did he? I'm sorry, I need to pause. How did he justify himself?
well,
Because surely he tried.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
At this time, Teddy's in Texas, mooching off another woman who owns a house and makes her own money, looking to make it in wrestling named Machiko. So Frederick goes down to film him, according to him, on the promise that Teddy will come back to Canada and turn himself in on those charges.
Lies.
While he's there, he witnesses Teddy being verbally abusive to Machiko at a Benihana, and who knows what would have happened if there was no camera recording
At a
them.
Benihana.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, bold. Because when you're
Yeah.
at a Benihana, you're at a table with a bunch of people you don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're willing to be super abusive at a Benihana,
With a camera on you?
what are you doing in private?
Exactly. Anyways,
I don't
Teddy
like this.
does decide to come back to Canada, where he's arrested at the airport. Poor Machiko that comes with him didn't check the fact that she had a misdemeanor charge on her, and so they wouldn't even let her into Canada. So she went
That's
back
good for
home
her.
and they broke up.
Yeah, it's best case scenario
yeah.
for her.
Yeah, Teddy calls some wrestling fan named Bill, who comes and bails him out and lets him live with him.
What? What?
I need to know.
Okay, wait.
Is he the most charming motherfucker you've ever
He
seen in your whole fucking
is-
life?
Has a
He's got cult leader charm.
honestly on the camera and everything, all the footage I saw, he might be the most repugnant personality I've ever witnessed
but
in
how
my
does
life.
this happen then? Like, I truly want to know.
Because people want to be surrounded by fame. Even if it's tangential, even if it's just in its mild fame, they want that.
Yeah, and like
I'm serious.
and
Like, people are really
in the wrestling circuit. The Hart family
It's
and even
very-
Teddy
yeah.
Hart, even though he wasn't in the WWE, is still like
yeah, it's
legendary, I guess. So yeah, Bill was like, yeah, you can live in my house.
That's so fucking gross.
And he told all of his friends online, he's like, "Oh my God, Teddy Hart's living in my fucking house, man."
Yeah, but Teddy already has his sights set on yet another young woman who wants to be a wrestler and just can't get past the Hart name, Samantha Fiddler. While he's fighting the charges in Canada, she begins to date him. Also, she's a young mother, so her 3 little girls get to know him.
No.
She is staying with Teddy and Bill, and Teddy convinces Bill to pay for a boob job for her because he says she needs it in order to make it in the
Hey,
wrestling.
I know I'm
business.
mooching off you by living in your house, but can I also have you? You wouldn't mind, right?
And Bill is interviewed on this documentary, and he's like, Teddy and I were going in on Samantha together in
No.
order to like her career was like we were partners in
No.
this. And I'm like,
What
honey,
a trash person.
child, you were not. You were paying everything and you got
God.
conned. So along with Samantha's boob job, Teddy also says they need a Jaguar to drive around with. So Bill pays for that too.
Bill.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Bill.
She gets her mom and dad to watch her kids, and then she goes off to Mexico for a match. And then after that, they're supposed to go to Florida to a special wrestling school run by friends of Teddy's. At the same time, he's also profiled in Rolling Stone, and Frederick shows up to film again, leading Samantha to probably think she's on the right path to fame and wrestling stardom.
Of course.
Footage shows an exuberant and beautiful Samantha excited to see the ocean in Mexico for the first time. Believing she's on an adventure with her boyfriend, about to start classes at a wrestling school, and that her dreams were coming true. But in a few months, no one would ever hear from her again. They show up in Florida at Team Vision Dojo, run by Chasen Rance, a convicted rapist and pedophile who also made fetish adult wrestling videos with his friends and students for extra cash.
Oh, his students.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great.
Teddy was in a few under the alias Teddy Trouble.
Okay.
So like people would pay for very specific wrestling situations. And so, yeah, just under the table quiche. Social posts on her page show videos of her working out, looking absolutely amazing in the ring. I can't tell you, this girl was stunning. She's an absolute 10. She is in shape. She looks great. There's no reason why she couldn't be in the WWE. Like, she was willing to work. Yeah. She had a plan. She was doing all of the things. And it's so sad to me because I'm like, she's honestly so gorgeous. She could have been. And being with like Teddy is like, even negating his personality, he's like a 4 at best. You know what I mean?
Woof.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but
the way I need to see his picture,
I know.
No, I need to show you, honestly.
All right.
Because it really will provide context so that you can see, like, and you'll know as soon as you see his face.
Oh no.
This motherfucker right here.
No.
Oh, honey.
Yep.
Honey.
Do you not know exactly who this guy is?
I know exactly who that guy is.
Oh my God.
Yep, Mr. Annis over there.
The way you say it.
Well, I mean, it's his name, isn't it? So there's trouble in paradise now, though. You know, once they've gotten into Florida, Teddy soon split on Samantha, taking the Jaguar as well as her passport.
Wow.
So she's stuck in Florida with no ID, no driver's license, no car, no money. She's a foreign citizen in Florida. Perhaps it was pride that kept her from telling her parents and sister that she was struggling. Maybe it was guilt of leaving her kids behind to pursue this dream that was turning into a nightmare. However, she didn't say anything except that she was going to be coming home soon in November of 2016. When January comes around and no one hears from her, her sister in Canada calls Florida police for help. You can guess that they pretty much told her to fuck off, that there's nothing that they can do. Because she's a Canadian citizen and didn't have any kind of ID. And Florida police were like, she probably wants to be missing. Canadian police were sorry, but there is nothing that they could do for someone missing in Florida. So her sister's like, nobody's going to help me.
Cool.
Like, you can
She's stuck.
You can see that her posts stop in November and that she was a regular poster on Facebook. No one has heard from her.
You guys, she's an illegal alien. She is literally crossed the border, coming in here, stealing jobs.
Honestly,
you'd think they'd be invested in finding her then.
I know.
Yes,
you would really
seriously
think. Let me guess. Let me just guess. Is she white?
I'm not sure. Ish. I mean, she's Canadian, which isn't the ones that like most.
It's not the border they care about.
Exactly.
It's just not the border they care about. Yeah, that's the thing.
So yeah, like no one's gonna help her. But what happens is her sister tries reaching out to Teddy. He denies he was even in a serious relationship with Samantha and had no idea what happened to her and just pretty much blew her off. So she actually Googled and found the article Rolling Stone had written, got in touch with the author who knew Frederick. And so that's how like her sister and Frederick connected. And he's like, oh no, they were seriously dating. Like I have footage of them, like all this stuff. And Frederick hadn't been in contact with Teddy since that footage in Mexico. So had no idea, like all that stuff. And so
how do the Harts feel about this?
Yeah.
Like,
no comments from them.
No comment?
None.
Because, man, this is truly one of those things where I'm just like, every time I see something like this, I'm like, what if you have a real piece of shit kid? Like, what if you have a real piece of shit?
It is a real bargain. You just, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they didn't do anything wrong, but like sometimes there's just...
Yeah.
Sometimes people are just
people are shitty, and this guy's shitty. So she's able to see the footage and learn more about why Samantha was in Florida and get some leads. Also, by this time, social media and wrestling forums were starting to come for Teddy. Wrestling was going through its own Me Too movement, where women were coming forward with their stories of abuse, misogyny, and mistreatment in the industry. Beautiful Machiko, now on the amateur wrestling circuit, wrote a long post about the abuse she suffered at the hands of Teddy Hart, and more people started asking questions about where Samantha Fiddler was. Now, years had gone by without any word from her or leads. Teddy's alibi was that he was in jail at the time, but it was quickly debunked by a little thing called the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And although no police gave a shit, the wrestling community began to turn away from him and basically call him a murderer. Meanwhile, he's continuously in and out of jail for assaults, DUIs, drugs, etc.
Jesus.
He even, I think, was his most recent arrest was for assaulting an elderly / disabled person.
Oh, fucking phenomenal.
So
sounds like a wiener.
There's a page you can actually check to see if Teddy Hart is in jail or not, and it will just say yes or no.
Oh my God. Like, it's like, is Mercury in retrograde?
Yeah. Frederick decides to meet with Teddy one more time.
No way, I'm Googling it right now.
If he can get more information out of Teddy so that they can try and find Samantha, and proceeds to catch him in several lies. Frederick had been able to piece together a lot of her timeline, so he knew that after her post about Team Vision Dojo and after Teddy left her stranded, she had moved in with a friend of a worker at the wrestling school and worked landscaping to get paid under the table. However, with no steady ride or ID, that quickly fell apart. Shortly afterwards, she had been arrested for trespassing in Florida, where she ran into an ER and refused to leave.
Jesus Christ.
Which is like, you would do that if you're like running from something or if you need help.
Yeah.
So she was arrested. And after her arrest, she was supposed to make court appearances and never did, leading to a warrant being issued on her. Finally, the last time she's seen is going to a spot to finally get an ID. And because she had the warrant out, they arrested her on the spot. So they have a picture of her mugshot there. Her appearance is drastically different.
Wow.
Like she was trying to disguise herself.
Jesus.
Her really long, beautiful brown hair had been cut short and dyed like box blonde, like super, super blonde. So they book her. She spends the night in jail. She leaves jail. And then that's the last time anyone's ever seen
Honestly,
or heard from her.
Her being in jail was probably like the safest place.
Right.
Right.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So Frederick was able to see that Teddy was actually nowhere near Florida on the day she went missing. There is footage of him at another match. So although he may not be directly responsible for whatever happened to Samantha Fiddler, I personally hold him directly responsible because he put her in a position
he put her
where she was stranded.
That's right.
She did not have her passport.
Yep.
Like no.
So, sorry, the cops never did anything?
No.
To this
So
day,
she's
they
still
haven't-
missing?
She is still missing. She has
Jesus
never been
Christ.
found. There are no leads for it. They want to question Teddy about it.
Well,
but
he's in jail right now. I just looked it up. He
So
is
he
incarcerated.
is
Well, then they
incarcerated,
should be
so-
able to. What do you mean? Like they're like, oh, sorry, we can't.
We just can't ask
all
him.
Shoulders.
He's in jail. You could find him very easily. You know where he is.
Yeah. And beyond finding Teddy responsible, I do find a little bit of the reality show culture and Frederick responsible for giving a person like Teddy, who has had several abusive charges on him,
That's the
giving
early-
someone like that a platform and credibility, so that he was able to pull women into his orbit who wanted a wrestling career.
Yeah.
Like all the women that he was
He
with,
makes
wanted
them
to
look
be wrestling.
legit, yeah.
It makes him look legit. It makes him look like there's an avenue for their own careers.
Now, the way that early 2000s reality TV hated women and like the way that they disregarded women's safety. I mean, like whenever I was still doing Your Angry Neighborhood Feminist, we did an episode on Playboy and like everything that happened at the Playboy Mansion.
Gross.
And like I watched the shit out of Girls Next Door. Like I watched it like all the time. And there's no way that people didn't know that there was like some really shady shit going on in the Playboy Mansion. It's just like, we didn't care. Like, and especially if it was women, we just didn't care. about what was happening because it made for good TV or whatever it was. You know what I mean? It's just like we completely disregarded women's safety. And we also just didn't think that certain things were unacceptable. Like we just didn't think that sexual harassment, you watch any movie or like we say the pickup artist all the time, like these things were minimalized to such a degree that we didn't even see it. Like we were just like, I don't know, that's just how these guys are. And isn't it funny? And like, they're probably fine with it and like whatever. And we just completely like blew it out the window. But like this Frederick guy, there's just no way he didn't fucking know. And
he does say at the end that he does feel,
I hope he does,
partially responsible.
I hope he does.
And, you know, I'm of two minds as of like, you know, he did eventually get paid because this thing got picked up by Peacock. It's 3 episodes. It is really good, and I do think that there's more information about Samantha's disappearance, and especially if you're in Florida or even if you're a wrestling fan or anything like that, any kind of I think watching it and seeing if there was like anything that pops into your head for a lead, because there are people that love her, that are looking for. She has 3 fucking daughters that just want answers, that want to know that their mom didn't just up and leave them.
That's right.
That's not what happened.
No.
I mean,
she was promised a dream and, you know, thought that this is, I certainly thought this could lead them all to a better life.
Right.
Not
People
just
go
her.
down the path where they end up in a place they never thought they would be all the time. Like it's a snowball effect. You make one little decision that you think isn't a big deal, and then you make another and you make another and you make another. And before you know it, you're in like a really bad situation. And I will say, as much of a piece of shit as I think that Frederick is, because it feels to me like he was making justifications throughout that to make himself feel better.
Oh yeah.
It is good that we have all this footage. Like something came out of it in terms of like, at least we have actual footage of him saying these like really awful things. We have footage of her in, you know.
Yeah, we have footage of him lying, contradicting himself. And I will say that the majority of like, I think like all now that the thing's out, I know I've seen a lot of articles saying like, this wrestling association won't work with him. This one won't. So he's not going to be able to wrestle. He's constantly in and out of jail.
I hope somebody took all of his cats.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Money, his main Persian cat, is now owned by Machiko because he left it behind.
Oh, Mr. Money.
So Machiko is taking care of Mr. Money, and Mr. Money is doing well.
Oh,
so
good.
yeah,
Mr. Money, how cute.
Yeah.
Now what about the other 49?
Yeah, I think they're still with Faye, or Faye took care of them because after Teddy left and stuff like that. So I think happy ending for the cats.
Oh, good.
So
that's good.
Teddy did not get to take them from house to house and that sort of thing. So
that's nice, at least.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend. It's Dangerous Breeds, Crime Cons, Cats. Go check it out for yourself. But that is the wild ride of Teddy Hart.
Wow.
Wowie.
Wow.
Well, speaking of like real shitty men, I'm almost done with that. I've been watching The Vow Part 2.
Ooh.
Oh, what is that?
So I watched Part 1. It's about Nexium and like Keegan and like all that
yes,
stuff.
I watched it.
So,
this one's specifically about Nancy, right?
That's right.
Well, it's not about Nancy, but they interview Nancy.
Oh,
so
see, that's why I wanted to see Part 2, and I haven't watched it yet.
She's featured very prominently throughout, but it is more about his trial.
Oh,
so it's like post arrest, like it's all about like his trial. And I will say this, it's another one where you're just like, this fucking guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
he looks like if you ordered Stephen King from Wish.
Right? Which you're already starting at a like, love you, Mr. King. I love your work. But you know, it's one of those things. It's hard. It is like, it gets to a point where it is like difficult to watch because you're just like, Nancy's daughter, Lauren, I just watched the episode where like she ended up pleading guilty and then testifying against him in court. And they did like a whole like reenactment thing for her court testimony. And the way that this man was able to like from the outside looking in, I think a lot of people will be like, well, you made these decisions and like, why did you do X, Y, Z? And truly, like there is some fault on on Lauren, especially. Like there is fault, like you caused harm to other people.
Yes, for sure.
You deserve to be held accountable for those things. But when you see the degree to which he manipulated
to control
these women and controlled them to such a degree that it is sickening. Like it is so... And it's just so fucking hard to watch.
Did they talk about chick face too? The
Allison Mack.
Yeah.
Because
she also
they did talk about her, but like her and Lauren Salzman were on like the same level.
Yeah.
And they both had like a personal sexual relationship with Keith and like romantic relationships. So they were talking about like Lauren in particular, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anyone, but like Lauren in particular, like was in a relationship with him, like a sexual relationship from the time that she had like just gotten out of college. He like pounced on her immediately, like throughout all of her adult life. And she kept saying like, I want to have a baby. Like I want to have a baby. I want to have kids. And he was like, I'll do that for you. Like, we'll do it. And then he kept like
dangling it
things. And it was always her fault why they couldn't. Like she wasn't ready. She keeps presenting herself in such a way that's not honorable to him. Like all of these things. And so to the point where like now she's not able to have children. And like, so he basically took
it away from her.
Which is like, and it's stuff like that where it's like, yes, she made her own decisions and like she deserves to be punished for those things that she did to other people. But when you see this man is
that level
evil.
of manipulation,
like he's so gross.
But we talked before too, like there is a call out there for everyone. There is something that can pull you in, and so
I know for a fact I'm not better than anybody in terms of like it has to be the right thing. I wouldn't have fallen for Nexium,
right?
But I might fall for some. I might have fallen for something else. You know what I mean? If I was in a different place in my life, or if I didn't have, you know, the kind of security. And in this case, like her mom was like the co-founder. Like,
and you're also looking at like highly intelligent, ambitious females. There's like tons of those mindset, motivational things, kind of things that just suck up like young women.
Well, and I think that there's the hard thing too is that there's some legitimate like there's some like legitimate businesses that are like, oh, here's some great ways for you to you know do XYZ, but then it's like,
well, and we're all looking for purpose, right?
Of course.
And like I myself am always on a journey for like trying to find a way to better myself and like trying to find greater meaning in life. And like I'm very not susceptible because that sounds negative, but like I'm very like interested in deepening my spiritual life and like stuff like that. Like that stuff is important to me, and it is something that like I want to try and figure out. I do know that I have to be careful about the way that I go about jumping into anything because of these things, because I could totally see if the way that you could just give yourself up to something because you're like, this is the thing. This is it. The calling.
This is the power, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I completely get it. I get why. But at the same time, it's like you have to come to account with the fact that, like, lives were damaged.
Yeah,
here,
for sure.
You know, so, yeah, it's good. It's hard. That guy has a lawyer that I'm like, huh? You know, 'cause he keeps getting interviewed and he's like, well, I think it's probably
okay.
That's their story, but like Keith saw it differently, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Funny. Speaking of things that will like help your life and, you know, like put you on a journey, like what you're saying, I started watching Vampire Diaries. So,
oh my god, I watched the shit out of Vampire Diaries.
Listen,
for years,
I was like, this is a fun, like
it
whatever for the background, and I'm like,
you still gotta watch Interview with a Vampire. I do think that you would love that.
The show.
I think Chris wants to watch it too, so we have to like wait. And this is like we have the shows we watch separately.
Yes,
the shows we watch together. You know,
yeah.
This is a separate show.
How are you liking? I like Vampire Diaries. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just like
I'm not like it hasn't changed my life yet.
Yeah, it's teen. Like
I'm
soap
in the
opera.
cult though.
Yeah.
No, it is definitely teen soap opera.
Yeah, and it's fun. I watched it because I was just like, this is just a thing to have on where you can just be like, what's happening? The hot people.
The way though that I'm like, so wait, did this book come out before Twilight? Because if not, there's a lot of ripping off.
I feel like the book was before Twilight, but I don't know.
It feels there's a lot of like, yeah. There's some little bit of crossover of like of things. It feels like.
Let's do the research.
Yeah. I started watching, and I forget what it's on. It might be HBO. I'm still on that White Lotus kick. I'm very excited for the finale next week. Oh my God. But Shaq.
Oh yes.
Oh,
I heard
my boyfriend Shaq. Yeah,
he is so fucking funny. And he's like telling his life story, and he's just like, it is so heartwarming and so fun. And it really is like, it's well produced. It has that sheen. It almost feels like Adam McKay.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it has a lot of those elements to it, and it's a lot of fun. So if
You
you're
love a Pisces man.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I've always thought like Shaq he's so funny to me. Something about the way he tells stories makes me laugh.
He doesn't take himself too seriously,
That's right.
which is the thing that like, he's like, I'll do the general commercials. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'll secure that bag. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, and then his family is like adorable and amazing as well too. They just seem like really good people. So I don't know. I'm enjoying that. So, and I'm not even really a sports person, you know, I'm not, but I think Shaq's funny. So if you want something light and fun and just want someone to make you laugh, that's a good light thing to watch.
That is fun.
I'd like to apologize to everyone for the absolute unhinged feeling of this.
Oh my God.
We did lose it a little bit there in the middle. So if you managed to stick through to the end, we appreciate you and love you so much.
True. Hey, you got bad stories. If you took care of somebody's ass over a weekend and you just want to reach out, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstatePodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.
It's fun to go twice as hard as everyone else this time of year. That's why Dunkin' doesn't stop at just one signature holiday latte. So, they made two, both handcrafted with rich espresso and topped with whipped cream. The holiday classic Peppermint Mocha features notes of mocha and cooling peppermint, while the toasted white chocolate is complete with creamy white chocolate flavor and cinnamon sugar dustings. They'll help you show the holidays a thing or two. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Over a single week in February of 1942, a sadistic serial killer stalked London's bomb-ravaged streets, hunting for victims in the bars and clubs of the city's West End theater district. In his cruelty and depravity, he was immediately likened to Jack the Ripper.
Using new research from police files, court transcripts, and exhaustive genealogical studies, Season 2 of Haley Rubenhold's Bad Women reconstructs the lives of the women he attacked and murdered. Women who were dismissed for working in the sex trade or for choosing to live otherwise independent lives.
Bad Women, the Blackout Ripper, examines what placed these women at the margins of society and why the war years were perilous for so many women.
Listen to Bad Women wherever you get your podcasts.